Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome, race fans, and welcome to the Racers Elite Network, powered by iRacing. Tonight, we proudly bring you round number 3 of the Racers Elite Tuesday Night Truck Series, coming to you from one of the most challenging and historic venues in American motorsports, Pocono Raceway, also known as the Tricky Triangle. Before we get into the action, we want to take a moment to recognize and thank the brave men and women of the military, past and present, for their service, and sacrifice. On this Veterans Day, we race with gratitude for the freedoms they protect, both here at home and around the world. From everyone here at Racers Elite Network, thank you for all that you do. Now, on to tonight's racing action. I am Mike Taylor, up here in the booth, joined by Andrew Teft, and of course our producer, the one, the only Christian Hill, making everything come to alive right here for you guys. Let's go ahead and let's take a look at the rest of the schedule here for November as we are starting to close things out. Next week, we are going to head over to Myrtle Beach Speedway, probably one of the most unique short tracks that I've ever actually got to race on here on iRacing. So we are excited to go there next week. And then the following week, we will be heading to Atlanta Motor Speedway, right there in Atlanta, Georgia. And then when we kick off December, we are going to go left and right over at Lime Rock Park. I'm really super excited for that one as we get going. So let's go ahead and take a look at our track overview. Pocono has 3 unique corners. It makes it one of the most toughest tracks on the schedule. It is pinned at 2.5 miles long, and each turn that you see has its own personality. One will test the limits of these tracks, and their drivers' precision and patience will be the name over the race here tonight. So 3 turns, pit road speed 55. They come out of turn number 4. They are still carrying at least 170 miles an hour, and then they have to get it all the way back down to 55 miles per hour. So these guys definitely got to take care getting down on pit road today. Let's go ahead now, take a look at our track points, or our race points. Sean Dunaway up in the lead by just 3 points over Adam Squires. Patrick Millett is up there tied for third between himself, Hensley Smith, and Blair Holloman at 77 points apiece. Troy Thomas, Brandon Sanfilippo, Jordan Shamblin, Kirby Wainscott, and Curtis Ecker. They will round out your top 10. So very good close here for your point standings. Just a matter of, just about 5 points separates your race leaders. So we're coming down, only coming in third race in, and we've already got a good points battle for the championship at the end of this thing. The strategy will be huge tonight. Yeah, so definitely a lot of things that we're going to have to watch, a lot of things we're going to have to see. What are your thoughts today, Andrew, as we get ready to tackle this 2.5 mile triangle?
Yeah, I'm wondering what kind of Pocono race we're going to have today. It's a cool November day. As we see these go green here, with not a lot of yellows. Sometimes we see a mostly green race with a yellow at the end, and then just all chaos breaks loose. Pack racing here is pretty tight and sketchy, so kind of at risk of something happening for at least a couple laps during these restarts and initial start. But once they get spread out, it's a little, a little safer out there. So curious what we're going to see strategy-wise. Everybody's getting right around 20 laps of fuel, so seems like a straightforward 2-stop race. It's a 60-lap race, so if you stop at lap 20 and 40, you can probably make it. But really got to be smart about your fuel from the start to pull that off. You do have one pace lap at the start that you need to make up for, so you got to get one extra lap out of one of the runs. And it doesn't sound like much, but it's a pretty big place here. So just depending on where the yellows fall, that could get interesting too, like usually does here at Racers Elite.
Yeah, for sure. I know that normally right before the start of these things, you go out and you run a few laps with these guys, and how was the track feeling to you in your number 98 truck out there?
A little snug. To be honest, I was kind of begging for just a hair more power. Kind of tough to get the rear end to step out, and that's how I like to steer the truck. A little bit more horsepower, and it feels like you'd be able to actually, get it loose in the corners and help you turn. But that being said, it's pretty planted, and I think it's going to be about managing your right front here mostly. You don't really slip the right rear a whole lot as long as you're being somewhat patient in the centers. So just managing your right front and seeing how cautions fall. If they fall, it's going to dictate fuel strategy here. And this place is so big, it's almost like a road course strategy sometimes. Like, you can pit without going a lap down. So if you see a yellow about to happen, maybe you can jump in at the right time and wind up at the lead of this thing.
All right, let's go ahead and head over to our grid. Starting first, it's going to be Blair Holloman, followed by Truth Hope. Starting third, it's going to be Jordan Shamblin and Jordan Sailors. Row number 3, we got Kensley Smith, Curtis Ecker. Starting 7th, it's going to be Stephen Luttrell and Cliff Adams. Starting 9th, we've got Brandon Sanfilippo and Brandon Honeycutt. Starting 11th, Barry Nelson, and to his outside, Troy Thomas. Starting 13th, Patrick Millett and Aaron Roth to his outside. Starting 15th, it's going to be Sean Dunaway and Kirby Wainscott. Starting 17th, Patrick Millett and Alan Wild. Row 10 is going to consist of Alex Teft and Jesse Fox. Starting 21st, it's going to be Philip Archibald and Steve Sizemore. Starting 23rd, Jonathan Stidham and Mike Fudge. Going 25th. All right, we're going to go ahead and just take a look here at the rest of it, and Eisburn's going to round out the field. Man, I forgot how quick one pace lap can be here, as we are green flag racing already, and right out front we got Blair Holloman, right, and Jordan Shamblin, I'm sorry, in that number 95. He's taking up over that second spot as these guys are now flying down the chute, heading over to turn number 2. Probably one of the toughest corners here on the circuit, as these guys will come through the tunnel turn and head down to that long sweeping third corner of turn number 3. Right now, everything's actually pretty settled. The only one who's really trying to make a move now is going to be Jordan Shamblin, trying to get around Blair, but Blair just had an incredible run out of turn number 3 that he could not make anything happen there. So Holloman, he will continue to lead this race as they come through turn number 1 for the second time here today. Ugh. Little bit of wall contact there for Shamblin in that number 95. Just showing already that because of the weather conditions out here, these trucks are just a little bit on the tighter side. And while these guys are coming around here for lap number 2, let's go ahead and take a quick look at our weather.
It looks like we got about 66 degrees air temp, 71 degrees track temp, which is really pretty cool. Partly cloudy skies and slight breeze on this cool November day here. Probably lucky it's not snowing.
Yeah, so with the track being cool, that means we do have a little extra grip. So these drivers might try to get a little extra out of these race vehicles. As you see our race analysis there, we are going for 60 laps here today. They do got 5 sets of tires, so that's definitely going to work to their advantage depending on how these cautions are going to fly here tonight. As you see Truth Hoke right here trying to get around Jordan Shamblin for that second spot, as we will go on board now, heading down here into turn number 2. One of the hardest corners again. Oh, I'm sorry, this is turns 3. Wrong part of the track. I am just obsessed with this second corner, to be honest. It's one of my favorite because if you don't hit it right, you're SOL. Very impressed here with how things are moving here. With Truth Hoke up there in that 3rd spot. Jordan Sailors, he's still hanging out back there in that 4th spot. And Kesley Smith right behind them in that Napa Auto Parts pickup truck. So far, everybody's just minding their P's and Q's at the moment. And we're just going to wait to see what happens here as we see Sailors get into that outside wall. Probably trying to get a little bit too much out of these race trucks with how tight the conditions are. And it's just not working out very well so far for these drivers as they head down this very long straightaway once again.
Yeah, we're starting to get a little spread out here. We might see a pretty green flag race today. Once they get pretty spread out, it can be a little hard to make a move. You'll see guys defending the top. I think the way to pass when things are like this is to just kind of grab onto somebody's right rear up top and work together draft-wise on the outside to get around them if you can get some help.
Yeah, I'm taking a look here. As you guys saw there on your track map, that number 47 of Pete Pellini ended up dropping pretty far back, it seemed, compared to everybody else. So I'm not exactly sure what's up with him. Maybe he's just chilling back there waiting on, just to save his tires, which are absolutely important here at Pocono, with it being so long and, fast corners. As you take a look here, Truth Hoke still trying to get this run here on second place of Jordan Shamblin. Just not able to make a move, but it looks like he's going to try to go for it here. Heading down into, now I believe it's the second corner. Yep, this is turn 2 right there, as he will not able to make the pass. Oh, that was Shamblin that was Shamblin making a pass on Blair Holloman. that was actually quite beautiful there as we look back from the.
I noticed the cat on his the back of his truck there.
Yeah. I think my dog saw the cat there as I was about to mention it, and they started barking. So I apologize about that. But yeah, that was actually
cat on the hood.
Yes.
Wasn't able to get that close in practice to make it out, but yeah, Jordan was looking really quick in practice, so I'm sure he's going to be a threat here today.
Yeah, definitely will be a threat. He was a threat last week as well, as things got pretty spread out last week. Very strong there. So, and as you guys saw, you know, he made that pass in turn 2 like it was nothing. As we see Jordan Sailors once again getting around Truth Hope for that 4th spot behind. And here comes that number 15, Kensley Smith, trying to come as well.
Yeah, Truth was able to hang on his outside there. That's the danger of trying to make that pass down low. It's so inviting, but it can be kind of like a sucker hole. You'll go down there to try to pass one guy and then lose 3 spots, you know, as they team up on you, on your outside.
Yeah, definitely. As we were taking, seeing that battle there for that 3rd spot, Sailor's just going to tuck right back behind, and here comes Kensley Smith now taking a look on to the inside of Jordan Sailors, as they will be side by side coming out of turn number 2, and they will drag race down this straightaway to that turn number 3. Beautiful. Right there on that yellow line, making it stick, and he's going to be able to almost clear him completely out of turn 3, but not able to make it happen as they come flying down this front straightaway.
Yeah, the longer you're side by side, the harder it gets. That right front just gets super heated, and you know, sometimes it just makes more sense to tuck back behind him if you can. You can see Kensley drifting up the track a little bit there. If there's a hole behind the guy you're trying to pass after you fail to make the pass, sometimes it's best to just jump back in line before it's too late and a bunch of other guys jump up there. Looks like that's what he did.
Yeah, definitely. As we're taking a look at the number, or now the back bumper here of Jordan Sailors, as
piece of the wall back there.
Yeah, that was a really hard hit back there for, I believe that was that number 36 machine. Or was that Eckers? I think that was actually Eckers getting into the wall back there as he taps the wall once again out of turn 3. But back to this, continue looking at the back bumper of Jordan Sailors over to Kensley Smith. These 2 drivers are just kind of chilling out right now, just not really trying to make any moves, and they are actually staying pretty close together in this race draft. Here at Pocono, you know, talking about the draft, how important is that draft going to be here at Pocono?
In practice, I was running about the same speed with or without a car, because when you've got somebody in front of you, you also lose the nose downforce-wise. You might make some more speed down the straights, but it kind of balances out with that loss of handling. I'm curious about what the draft does to fuel economy, because like I was saying before, we're pretty close, and with Jordan being out front, I would assume that he's going to use the most, and if he can make it to lap 20, I'm not really worried about anybody else, because I think he's going to be using the most.
Yeah, these guys are
already about halfway through this fuel run, a little over.
Yep, I was actually about to mention that. So we're probably going to start expecting these guys to start coming down probably within the next 7 to 8 laps, I would say. I know we were talking before the show that, you know, if these guys start coming in probably like right around lap 18, they definitely will not be able to make it on just the 2 stops. So it's going to be very interesting to see how many different strategies that we are going to be seeing here today, as we are taking a look over at that number 33 of Alan Wild, as he is trying to make his way in front of Aaron Roth and Kirby Wainscott, who's currently side by side with Steve Sizemore. everything is going to plan so far for all these drivers. You know, they're pretty spread out, leaving a lot of room, not really, you know, making any crazy moves that we would normally see. As you see the two trucks in front of him still side by side, as he's now looking onto the inside of that number 57 machine of Aaron Roth, and he's going to drag race him down over towards turn number 3, and he'll have that better line getting in, but Roth just dives it down in there out on the high side, and it looks like he may have a little bit more momentum than that number 33, but he's also got that draft of the 10. And that, as we come back up here,
Truth Hoke has actually gained another spot up front. He's always really good here. It must be one of his favorite tracks.
yeah, I'm actually very impressed with the driver of that number 55 AC Delco machine. As we are looking at that number 12 of Brandon Sanfilippo, you know, Brandon's been pretty quick everywhere we go, so seeing him up here in that 9th spot, he hasn't made up any spots since we've gone green, but he's one of those drivers that will stay nice and quiet until like the second half of the race, and then that's when he will really pounce. As you see, he's going for that pass on the inside now of that number 36 machine, Steve Luttrell. Again, Steve Luttrell says, "Hi, Mom." So, hi, Mom, if you're watching, how you doing? Hope you're doing great. And these guys will continue to drag race down this back straightaway, heading down here in turn 2.
Brandon was so close to clearing him off of turn 1.
And that's how much of a difference it is, you know, with turn number 2. So a lot of people don't really know, but these corners, they're designed after real world racetracks. So turn 1, it has more of a feel of, I believe it was Texas, I think it was. Turn number 2 is Indianapolis, because it's that, you know, that quick, you know, 90-degree angle as we
Truth
see
Hoke around.
smoke.
Over
Truth
in turn
Hoke,
2.
he is around, and a lot more action going on. The 18 is around, the 13 gets involved there, and this is going to be our first caution.
Yeah, turn 2 is usually our trouble spot if something does happen.
Definitely unfortunate there for Truth Hoke in that number 55. Let's go back here and take a look. As you see Hensley on the inside of him heading down here into turn 2. And it looked like just, oh, that was real early for the corner. I don't know if one of them just made a very slight adjustment, but that was very unfortunate there for Truth Hoke and both Kensley Smith, as we're going to take a look.
Should be a better
here.
view.
Yeah, so this one's going to be Kensley Smith. He kept inching up trying to get that side draft, but just went up a little too far. And look at that number 55 truck just freaking get lifted up into the air.
Yeah, that thing wanted to go over. I guess Patrick must have lost it a little ways back as they're trying to avoid Truth there. Not much Truth can do. He's kind of just along for the ride.
Yeah, definitely just along for the ride on that one. Yeah, definitely a lot of really good drivers caught up in this one. So Kensley Smith, Truth Hoke, Patrick Millett, he was involved in this one. The 13, I believe it was, Brandon Honeycutt, he got into it with a little bit there with Patrick Millett. So a few good drivers involved in this one, and I guess depending on how much damage these guys have, they can use their fast repair if they feel that it's bad enough that they need to. As you see our race leaders and everybody coming down pit road.
Yeah, this feels like a 4-tire no-brainer. We're a little bit soon to be able to one-stop it from here. I think you might see some guys toward the back of the pack come in and top off, seeing they're back there anyway. Might as well just get a few more miles out of the tank. I think when we go back to green, you'd have to get about 21 laps out of each run, so pretty close. But I don't know if somebody at the front would want to give up all that track position just to top off and get another lap out of the tank. If it goes green, it might be the winning call for somebody, but it would have to go green from here.
Yeah, that's for sure. As we see these drivers coming out of the pits now.
If I'm back in 20th right now, I'm absolutely coming in and topping off.
Oh yeah. Man, really good pit stop there for Jordan Sailors with the 14.63. 14.5 for Alex Teft. He was able to bring his machine up to the 8th spot. So definitely really good pit times for a lot of these drivers. But like you said, definitely, you're going to want to come down and top off on fuel. But these drivers also want to make sure when they do come back down to top off that they have those tires on check as well, because you don't want to use up his set, by accident. And I have definitely been guilty of that. As it looks like so far we only have Troy Thomas coming down and Kyle Hisson, the number 86. He's going to come down top off. Kirby Wainscott's coming down to top off. Kensley Smith. But that also depends on how much damage Smith may have. I mean, he's got an EOL, for causing that incident. So at this point, you might as well go ahead and come down. You got to do it anyway, fall to the end. So.
And sometimes you can turn one of those problems into an opportunity.
Exactly.
Got about 4 guys that can go that one extra lap further. These are like 2.5-mile laps, so I might be being too optimistic about no more yellows from here, but always got my eye on the strategy.
Yeah, definitely. So the amount of time that you spend on pit road is somewhere between 51.5 seconds to just about 53.5, depending on how well you hit your pit box. So, and to get one lap around here, you're looking at just about 53.5. So the amount of time you spend on pit road, the more you can make that shorter, the better off you're going to be for that long run in the end.
Not sure which lane I'd want to pick if I were the leader. Probably the top. Just try to hang on the guy's right side, turn 1, and I think if you're on the outside off turn 1, you're probably gonna be clear going into turn 2, but we'll see here.
Definitely going to be very interesting as Jordan Shamblin and Cliff Adams will bring them back to the restart zone, and we are green flag racing once again here. And Jordan Shamblin gets an incredible start that time by, and that 80 machine of Cliff Adams, he's still trying to hang on to that second spot, but here comes Jordan Sailors getting a nose on him heading into turn number 1. He will clear him, and now here comes Curtis Ecker in that number 8 machine trying to make it work, but Ecker's getting a little bit sideways out of turn number 1 as they will run double file down this back straightaway.
It looked like the 80 maybe shifted too soon on the outside there. Got really bogged down. He had a pretty good launch and then suddenly really bogged down.
Yeah, as we take a look here at Jordan Sailors, he did the crossover out of turn number 2, so he has that inside lane, and he gets that front tire right down on that yellow line to help get his truck to rotate. They touch just a little bit, but Adams just has that better run out of the corner on that high side in turn 3. So it's starting to prove that, you know, if you're going to try to make the pass on the inside, you might only want to do it possibly over in turn 2.
Even with that off restart there at the top, Bill paid off pretty good for the 80. I think it would have worked out really good if he could have stayed even with Jordan there. We'll see if we get another restart and how that works out.
Yeah, definitely. You know, obviously, you know, I probably say this every broadcast. Like, we love to see the accidents, but we also want to see that really good racing too. So it's like, which one do you want more? For me, I always love seeing the more racing action, the better. And Jordan Shamblin is just absolutely wicked fast in that number 95 machine.
I don't think he's going to be able to one-stop it leading the race like this. So, you know, if you know you can't make it, you might as well just run as hard as you can and try to build a gap on the people that can.
Yeah, as we take a look at Cliff Adams in that number 80 Yingling Chevrolet, he's holding off that number 19 of Jordan Sailors pretty decent at the moment. But depending on what kind of a run Sailors can get out of turn 1 or turn 3, that's probably going to decide, you know, if he'll be able to make a decent move or not on that next straightaway. As we ride on board here with Sailors up to 185 miles an hour, cautions out.
Right by the start finish. Not making out who it was.
Pete Bellini, it shows that he jumped to the... As he jumped to the pits, Mike Fudge in that number 2 Toyota, he's trying to get a feel for how damaged his race car is, and I think somebody should have told him that, yeah, his front tire is pretty screwed. As he's trying to save it, and he's going to lose it coming out of turn 1. Hold on to it, Mike. All right.
Yeah, these things are really tough to manage with rear damage like that.
Yeah,
feels like your spoiler just fell completely off.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go back here and take a look and see what happened. Oh, Fudge just clobbered the outside wall, came down and door slammed Kensley. He lost it again and then just came right in front of that number 47 of Pete Bellini. And Mike Fudge's truck, just like we saw with Truth Hope that last caution, his truck tried to go airborne.
Yeah, I guess Mike might have just got back to the throttle too soon. The last thing you want to do is lift off a turn 3 because it kills you the entire front stretch, and it's a really long straightaway. So, yeah, it's kind of a close call. I guess he stayed in it. If you can avoid lifting at all, you want to, and it looks like he tried to, but fortunately Pete got caught up. Collateral damage, just nowhere to go.
Yeah, that truck just tried to take off, and those roof flaps are doing what they're supposed to do, keep these trucks planted to the ground and not allowing them to fully go airborne. So that's really good to see out of these trucks.
Doesn't look like Kensley got much damage out of that, if anything. Well, if I was one of those guys that topped off, I'm very confident about one-stopping it from here, so you don't use quite as much fuel under yellows as you do during green flag. So this should put you in the ballpark. If you're one of those guys that didn't top off and have been leading, I think it's still going to be a little bit close, but we should see a bunch of people top off here at least, maybe get 2 tires.
Yeah. Whoa!
Wow, that was a late call. Holy cow.
Very late call from that number 95 machine.
Guess he saw everybody coming in and must
Never
have
have
thought
I
fewer people.
ever
Kirby
seen
stayed out way
somebody.
back there.
Yeah. Never have I ever seen somebody choose at the very last second and make it to the commitment cone. He is so lucky that he did not hit anybody. As he looks and sees everybody coming in, he cranks it hard left. Woo!
That's a
Jeez.
sickening feeling in your mirror, seeing everybody come in behind you, knowing that they're gonna have fresh tires.
Yeah, and that right there, that dropped him all the way back to that 11th spot.
Wow. There must be some
Just-
2-tire calls in there also. If you're deciding that late, you might not have all your boxes set appropriately for your pit stop either.
Yeah, everybody in front of him, second through 10th, they all got 2 tires or just fuel.
I think this is gonna be a huge net gain for Kirby. Looked like he was running maybe about 10th, 15th or so before he topped off. So as long as he doesn't fall back to there, it should be a really good move for him.
Yeah, these guys only ran 5 laps, not even 5 laps, since last time Kirby came in. So they maybe ran about 3 laps on those tires. So I don't believe that his tires are going to be too worn to make a difference. So I think he's still going to be able to hold off Stephen Luttrell and company on this restart. So if he does fall back, I can't see him falling back any further than maybe 6th. That's if he falls back.
Looks like Kirby. I'm thinking K names. Kirby's taking the top here as the leader. He has lane choice. Worked out pretty good for the 80 last time. See if Kirby gets better launch than the 80 did. He might be able to keep the lead off turn 1.
Yeah, for sure. You know, talking about the K names, Kirby, Kyle, Curtis, who was the other one I just saw, Kensley. You know, let's talk about Mullet and Millet.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think 18 and 34. These guys are brand new, and when they registered, I thought it was the same person registering again, to be honest, because their letter was only, I mean, their name's only 1 letter off. Not even numbers after the last name, like you see in iRacing sometimes. So, just kind of funny. They don't know each other at all either.
Yep. So Patrick Mullet is going to be restarting 20th. And Patrick Millet, he's going to be starting 21st. So I'm going to possibly start calling them the Patrick brothers. All right, let's go ahead and pull the belts tight. Let's do this again, ladies and gentlemen. This time it's going to be Kirby Wainscott on the outside, Stephen Luttrell on the inside, and back into the restart zone. And we are green flag racing once again here at Pocono. Wainscott gets an incredible jump right there, and he's going to stay out in front of that number 36 of Luttrell as these drivers will dive back down into turn number 1. So, but here comes the hard-charging Blair Holloman. He may get to his inside here on the short shoot, but with all the... Oh, we have double behind him. The 92 of Iceberg. Oh!
It's like a pinball.
Sorry, that was really loud. Oh, man. Timothy Iceberg.
Like you're calling something the way his front end's up. Looks like there's something really heavy in the back.
Yeah. If he doesn't tow and is able to bring this truck all the way back, nope. He's gonna have to tow. No, he's gonna keep trying.
I don't know if
He's
the
like,
folks at home
no.
know. Right now, he's trying to avoid calling the tow truck, which costs you a bunch of time on pit road, maybe even like 5 minutes. So if he can make it back and use his fast repair, he's gonna a lot less time than 5 minutes, but it's not looking too good. I think he's probably just gonna tow here.
I shouldn't be laughing, guys. I shouldn't, but this is just comical. But this is something that it doesn't surprise me that this is something that Timothy Eisburn would do. So,
Looking a little bit better now.
nope. Oh, there goes that piece. Come on. Come on.
It's the worst when you try to make it and then you still ultimately have to tow because it's like, oh, well, I just wasted even more time.
His truck is crab walking a lot worse than it was before. And he's gonna have to try to get oh Lord. Hold on to it, up into the wall.
I hope he's
And
going
here
in
comes the
turn
field.
3.
Now he'll be okay if he can, you know, stick it, keep it down here on the runoff here. He'll be all right.
He'll get away with losing 1 lap instead of 2 probably by doing this.
Right.
Still a net gain. A for effort.
Oh, absolutely.
We have any takers on pit road? It's been a really short run.
Yeah, we have quite a few coming down. There he goes. His truck is fixed. Now he's going to get some tires. Let's go back and finally take a look at that replay. And as you see back there, just, oh man, the number 92 of Timothy Eisburn comes shooting right back across. 3 wide down. Yeah, they're going, trying to go, whoa, hold on to it. Oh.
I think there's 2 separate incidents. There was something that happened shortly before that too.
Yeah, unfortunately, with that one there, I'm not exactly sure what. I don't think Eisburn could have done anything to save that truck from going back into traffic. Because the way he got airborne and finally came back down and then hit the wall, I think at that point he was just along for the ride. But let's take a look here. And
Somebody down in the grass in turn 1. Just not sure who that is. And then a red car kind of sideways up the track a little bit. Talking to Christian, our producer.
oh man, what an incredible save there for Mike Budge.
Yeah, it looked like Timothy was just a little far off the wall for the situation he was in. I think Sean was expecting him to be a little higher there.
Taking a look here, we're now sitting with 18 cars on the lead lap, and the first car a lap down is going to be Truth Oak. No.
Just about
I lied.
halfway.
I'm sorry, Timothy Eisburn is going to be the first car a lap down. Yeah. So 24 on the lead lap.
We didn't do picks to win today, Mike. Who do you think?
Yeah. You know, putting aside everything that we have seen so far, the guy that I was really looking at the most is, I'm not gonna lie, is that number 10 of Kirby Wainscott. He was a little, not the fastest in practice, but he was very consistent in practice. And I think that's probably going to be one of the things that could possibly get him the win here today. And how about you? Who are you going to watch today?
Yep, I'm going to put some pressure on my brother today and pick him. Hopefully I'm not cursing him.
Yeah, Alex.
Oh, geez, somebody's in trouble again.
Oh, there goes in the back.
Just got sideways on the...
The number 33 of Alan Wild, and...
I don't know if there was a checkup or if he just spun his tires, but...
Nope, no caution.
No yellow.
Archibald was involved in that one there. Nope. Man, that was absolutely crazy there.
Guessing he must have towed.
Yeah, as we come back here to the live racing action, what I was getting ready to say about Alex Tefton, that number 43 machine, you know, he's that quiet driver that you really won't notice he's there until he's fighting for a top 5, like we're seeing right now, as he's working away around Stephen Luttrell in that number 36 machine.
He's not afraid to try something weird at the end either. Can't tell you how many times he's taken 2 tires or a splash or something, done something completely out of the ordinary, and there I am thinking, oh, that's not going to work, and it goes on to beat me. So it's, I don't know, it's tough to see how this is going to play out now. We're only the halfway. We've seen a few incidents. I still think it's a one-stop most for everybody right now. It's just when do you come in?
It definitely is. They come rocketing out of turn number 3 once again. The number 95 of Jordan Shamblin, he's going to... Oh, I thought he was going to go 3 wide there on those drivers for a hot second. But they decided to go ahead and just back it back down and just run it out single file into turn 1.
Sometimes I see Jordan's car or truck, and I think it's Kirby. Just they look kind of similar.
Yeah, kind of get you thrown off until you more see the side of it. As you see in that view there, Shamblin's now looking onto the inside of Alex Teft here into turn number 3, and here comes that 08 and Steve Sizemore running right around that higher lane, and he's going to get a decent run here out of turn 3, and he gets kind of pinched up into the wall there from that number 95 machine. But here comes Sizemore now right onto the back bumper of Teft as they will head down into turn number 1. Still side by side. Sizemore gets super loose, saves it, but he will fall back just behind Cliff Adams now. But man, what an incredible save there for that driver, the number 08 machine of Steve Sizemore. Man, the air was just like taken right off that rear spoiler of that race truck, and it almost had him go around. As we are looking off of the back here, I believe that's of Shamblin, right, with the kitty cat. He looking back over to Cliff Adams in that number 80 Chevrolet. Yeah, got a battle up here now for our second spot. Blair Holloman, he was able to get around Kirby, and now Jordan Sailors in that number 39 machine. He's trying to get around Wayne Scott, but not able to make it happen just yet, as Wayne Scott now pulls up right onto the back bumper of that number 32 machine as they exit turn number 2. A big wobble there for Sailors, But that didn't slow him down any, as he's going to go to the inside now of Wayne Scott here in turn 3, and they will come out side by side on turn 3. Wayne Scott, he will have that draft help from Holloman in front of him, so he's going to be able to use that to his advantage, as the 32 of Holloman, he will go down and he'll give the draft over to Sailors, but Sailors will go ahead and get back in line and get behind Wayne Scott heading down here into turn number 1. That was a very smart move there from Holloman, you know, to give both of the guys a draft help, because that just forced them to go side by side, and in the end it actually makes him be able to go pull away a little bit from those guys.
Good time for Sailors to try something there too. He's got a gap behind him, so if he tries to make that inside pass and it didn't, he had room to jump back behind Kirby. Less risky time to try something.
And definitely, we're taking a look now at Jesse Fox in that number 69 machine. As we jump back up here to Alex Tuft, he was looking to make a move on Shamblin, but went ahead and fell back in line. Shamblin, he's slowly starting to move his way back up towards the front after that big mishap just a couple cautions ago, falling all the way back to that 11th spot. He's made his way back up to 5th currently, and he's now looking on the inside of Luttrell as they dive here into turn 2 and head down the short chute over to turn number 3, still side by side, but that 43 is right on the back bumper of the 36, allowing those two trucks to go a little bit faster, and he will pull alongside Shamblin now to try to overtake for that 5th spot coming out of turn number 3. Whoa, big wobble.
Yeah, it's kind of like a chess match. Alex saw Jordan going for the pass there and figured he'd be in a good spot behind Steve if Jordan couldn't pull it off. He was able to get around him. It's that sucker hole stuff we were talking about.
For sure, as there's contact a little bit, but Shamblin, he will back off, and Tuft will overtake that spot. Cliff Adams, he's going to now make his way around Jordan Shamblin, as he now has his eyes set on who are we talking about here? Cliff Adams now has his eyes set on Alex Tuft, but here comes Shamblin back to his outside, heading down here into turn number 3. Really good side-by-side racing here. Cliff Adams able to clear Shamblin, and that's going to make Shamblin fall back to that 7th spot, but he's still right there pushing the back bumper of Cliff Adams into turn number 1.
Yeah, it looks like Jordan's getting a little frustrated here. Tried to make that one move on Steve up in 4th, and now he's back to 7th. Winds up losing 3 because of it. Just about patience sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be all about patience as we ride on board now with Jordan and Shamblin. You know, you get... I don't know about anybody else, but like once I get like a big mistake like that, I tend to start to fall back myself, because then I'm starting to go, okay, well, I know I can be up in that 4th spot. Now I have to try to get back up there. And so I start to push myself, and every time I start to push myself, I start to fall back, and I'm like, well, there goes my race. So I'm wondering if Jordan is having one of those kind of moments as he's down there pushing Cliff Adams, trying to get him alongside Alex Tuft now into turn 1. Alex Tuft now on the inside here of Stephen Luttrell down this straightaway as we continue to ride on board with Shamblin, as this battle up here is heating up big time for that 4th spot. As you take a look here and you see Tuft down on that inside, he gets on that the banking there, drifts up the track, and here comes Shamblin looking to take it almost 3 wide, but Tuft let out. And this is going to allow Shamblin now to get to his inside. And here comes Shamblin back to the inside of that number 36, not able to get there. But here comes Tuft now fighting back to the outside of Shamblin, as these guys will now drag race. And here comes that number 80 machine of Cliff Adams. He's going to give Shamblin a little shove down into turn number 1. to try to help his case against Alex Teft. And he will clear Teft for the moment, but here comes Teft right back out to that outside lane. Little bit of touching going on there on the exit, but both drivers keep it nice and straight. And they will drag race down the back straightaway into turn 2. Now it's going to be all about that line coming out of turn number 2. Who's going to be able to hold it a lot better. But it looks like it's going to be Shamblin and Teft. He's going to... No, I thought he was going to do the crossover. But instead, it's going to be that number 80 machine of Adams coming back fighting to the inside of Teft. These trucks all right here are trying to fight now for that 4th spot. Right now, Stephen Luttrell has it. Shamblin, Teft, and Adams, they all want it. As those drivers behind them are starting to reel them in just a little bit, and they are being led by Curtis Ecker, that number 8 machine. But right now, the battle is still on for that number 4 spot. Shamblin turns it down to the inside. He's going to make a run here on that number 36 of Luttrell. Heading down here into turn number 2, he's going to be there. And here comes the 80 now of Adams to the inside of Teft. As these drivers are going to come out of turn 2 side by side, heading down turn number 3. Shamblin on the inside of Luttrell and Adams on the inside of Teft. Down into turn number 3 here. These guys are going to rocket out of turn 3. As you see Kirby Wainscott, he's going to come down in that number 10 machine. He's down on pit road as we still got this battle up here for this 4th spot. Shamblin, Luttrell, I'm sorry, this is now going to be for the 3rd spot. Luttrell and Shamblin still side by side. But here comes Alex Teft in that 43 machine coming through turns 1 and 2. Right now, it's all in the hands of Shamblin as Luttrell gets a tad bit loose, and that allows Cliff Adams to get onto his inside. And so now they're going to run side by side back here for that 5th spot between Adams and Luttrell. Adams is still looking to make the pass, and he will do it in turn number 2. But right behind him, they have company, that of the number 8 of Curtis Ecker, as he looks to the inside of Luttrell, and he's going to overtake him for that number 6 spot. Ecker has that left front right on that yellow line. Here comes the 36 down onto pit road. So that's going to definitely hand it over to Ecker and that number 8 machine as they drive down this front straightaway heading into turn number 1. But out front, it's going to be Blair Holloman and Jordan Sailors and that number 32, 39 numbers respectively out of turn number 1. And these guys are really pulling away from the field. There is about a 2-second gap back to Shamblin and that number 95 machine.
Yeah, it looked like Steve was a little bit off that run, but he was doing a really good job of just running his line, and these guys behind him couldn't do anything with him just because of the way the arrow works and everything. Yeah, it's right on schedule for Kirby for his pit stop. Might play out a little interesting depending on if there's yellow or not, because I mean right now if yellow comes out, Kirby made his final stop, he could stay out. It's going to put him right back out front. If there's no yellow, he'll probably wind up somewhere around there anyway. But if you're these guys up front right now, you know Kirby came in and he's going to be flying out there. So you don't want to let him, build too big of a gap on you in the background, and stay out too long.
Yeah, the only way I can see it really hurt is if these drivers start to do a pit cycle, or right about when the rest of everybody starts to come in and there's a caution. So it can go either way, because at that point, if there's that caution and he's already ran 10 laps on his tires, he's probably going to want to come in and get fresh tires, as well as we see our race leaders Holloman and Sailors come in, and that's going to hand the race lead back over to Jordan Shamblin. Patrick and Mullet and Millet are both in, so the Patrick brothers are now down pit road as well. It looked like those guys made their way all the way up to probably just about that 9th or 10th spot before coming back in. So they climbed up 10 spots before this pit stop. So that's incredible driving by those two drivers. Jordan Shamblin still holding off Alex Teft and Cliff Adams back there but they're right on the bumper, and Alex Teff gets hard into that wall on the exit turn 2. He's hopefully not have too much rear damage, and it's going to slow his truck down on the straightaway. As it looks like Jordan Shamblin, he's going to come in, and he's going to bring Cliff Adams with him. So that's going to hand over the race lead over to Alex Teff for the time being. And Brandon Honeycutt in that number 13 machine is right behind him as well. I like to refer Brandon Honeycutt as that silent stalker.
Mr. Where's he coming from?
Exactly. Like, I know that I said that about a couple other drivers, you know, that they're just quiet moving up, but, you know, he may be in that, you know, bright blue car, but let me tell you what, just half the time, you're like, you blink and he's there. Like, you could watch people start moving up, but like with Brandon Honeycutt, you don't even notice him coming up. So that's why I call him my silent stalker. As it looks like Alex Teff will bring his number 43 machine down, and that will bring Brandon Honeycutt the race lead, and he will get a point here for leading a lap. And that brings Kensley Smith in that number 15 up to the second spot. Let's take a look here.
We do have up to 3 Green-White-Checkered attempts here also, so...
Yeah,
definitely. Sound like I'm begging for a yellow, but yeah, if one did happen, guys like Kirby, who pitted at the start of the window, they might not be able to make a Green-White-Checkered with the extra laps. Alex, who just came in, you know, he might be able to withstand a Green-White-Checkered or 2 without having to come in. You know, who knows how it's going to play out.
Yeah, definitely, as we see that number 12 machine, Brandon Sanfilippo, come back out onto the racetrack. That's the name that we really haven't said much today. He's struggling here at Pocono today. Currently back there in about that 18th spot. Just a really, really rough day for him. But hopefully that day can get turned around as we come back up here and catch up with I'm trying to catch who that is. I apologize. Jordan Shamblin in the number 95 machine. Heading down here into turn number 1. He's right behind Patrick Mollet in that number 34 John Deere machine. So he's going to have to make his way in front of some of these drivers. Patrick Mollet, he did pit 1 lap earlier than Jordan Shamblin. And that just shows right there that Jordan had a little bit of a rough pit entry this time, or pit exit, because he is back behind some of these other drivers that pitted before him. Unless if that's just how much of a difference, you know, these tires really make. Just even those 1 lap old tires. Kensley Smith, Sean Dunaway now down, coming out of the pits now, and they're going to rejoin the field right about that 12th, 13th spot. As we take a look here. Man, Kensley Smith, he's been trying his hardest. Oh, we have trouble on the back straightaway. Who was that?
39, I believe. Oh, we have 2 Jordans. 2 Jordans, that's going to confuse me too.
There he is. Jordan Sailor's in that number 39 machine. It looked like he possibly got turned going down the short chute. But we have more trouble with Sean Dunaway and Jesse Fox in that number 69 machine, and that's going to bring out our caution. We just had 2 separate incidents happen right there. As we take a look at, not my Sean Dunaway, not in that beautiful Hello Kitty sponsored race truck. We're taking a look here at Sailors as he went down and tried to block the 34. And yeah, just horrible blocking. You know, if you're gonna want to block, you're gonna want to, you know, be a little bit more quick on the steering wheel there. And that was just an absolute poor block gone wrong there.
Yeah, at a certain point, you got to come in with the blocking.
Yeah,
Usually get away with one. That was the first one.
let's
Usually see more of that on the second block, but
yeah, just I don't know about this one. The 01 slipped up in the corner just a little bit, and that caused him to go up into the side there of Jesse Fox. Right there. Hmm. I don't know. I think that 01 Sean Dunaway probably held his line.
yeah, it's just a tough corner. Two guys racing tightly.
Yes. Yeah, turn 2 is the replica of Indianapolis. And so just as you would make that corner in Indy, you know, if you're going to run side by side, you got to be really smart about it. And just unfortunately there, as everyone saw, that didn't work out very well. But a lot of these drivers are back down on pit road, and including Kirby Wainscott in that number 10 machine. So his strategy, pitting early, didn't really pan out for him, but he decided to go ahead and come on back down in pits and get some fresh tires and top off on the fuel tank.
Kirby,
And
Steve, Pat, Jordan.
Steve Sizemore, Nelson, yeah, Fudge.
They're gonna have new stuff, but they're gonna have a lot of cars to pass. I think I'd still rather be one of these guys that stayed out, especially knowing how many stayed out behind them.
Yeah, for sure. Now I don't remember who I was talking to, but Andrew, did you hear that Pocono really is a 5 corner turn?
I've seen this debated a lot. People say three turns. Yeah, at most oval tracks, you got 2 ends. You'd have 4 corners, right? So wouldn't that make the 6 corners? But then turn 2 is kind of like 1 corner, because that would be 1 corner at Indianapolis.
Indy, correct. So Indy is laid out with each right angle corner being 1 turn. Mm-hmm. All the other tracks are 1, 2. And so if you lay it out that way, this track is actually a 5-turn racetrack, not a 4 or 3.
Yeah, I could see that.
And
my opinion, it doesn't matter what you call them, because they're all so different. You're never going to get all of them agreeing. So,
right.
For me, it's about turn 3, making sure I'm decent down there, so I can get a really great run down this really long front stretch. If you can't do that, then it really hurts your entire lap.
Definitely. If you can't get that good run out of turn 3, you definitely want that good run out of turn number 1, as that straightaway there is also, you know, very long as well. So those are the 2 corners that I really focus on the most, is turn 3 and exit of turn 1, because for me, I think those are the most 2 important turns in this whole entire track.
Yeah, definitely. And I tend to throw away turn 2 myself, because a lot of the times you're not side by side through there. It doesn't seem as critical. But yeah, front stretch and straightaway between turn 1 and 2 seem the longest. I believe the one in between 2 and 3 is the shortest. So to me, being faster and the longest of the straightaways would lead to the better lap time.
Yeah, my brain is trying to comprehend what I'm saying. We're getting ready to go green, and okay, so now they're going to double up as I say something. Because you only had that number 32 of Blair Holloman on that outside lane, and everybody else was single file on the inside. I'm like, okay, something's not right here. But they figured it all out coming here in turn 3.
I think Honeycutt's got the freshest tires of the guys that stayed out.
Definitely going to be very interesting as Blair and Alex Teff are both going to bring them back to the green flag. A decent jump there for Holloman, but here comes Teff right behind him. He's going to sneak up behind him, and that's going to bring Honeycutt into that 3rd spot. So who's going to have the better run out of turn number 1? That's going to be the very interesting thing to see here on the exit of turn 1. Yeah, currently we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 black flags. Brandon Sanfilippo. Oh, I think they're actually getting them cleared. I think something. I think that's what happened. I think something happened, and it just jumbled everybody up. And I think that's what happened. And so they're working on that and still waiting. Sean Dunaway. See what he's going to do in that 0-1 machine. But back here to all this race and action out front here. Looking here at Brandon Sanfilippo in that number 12 right behind Curtis Ecker in that number 8 machine. He's doing a pretty good job now. As I said earlier, he was struggling here in that number 12, but I spoke too soon because here he is up here in that 5th spot now. Here in the closing laps of this race.
Somebody's in the wall for 2.
Well, somebody's...
Truth. Looks like he's just keeping it up out of the way. It's a classy move.
Yeah, definitely a very smart move there. Keeping it up into that outside wall. As we will circle around here once again.
Truth's still in 12th. I thought it was him just based on the colors, but
it looked like it's Aaron Roth. Aaron Roth in that number 57 as we see Alex Teff. He's going to look to the inside now with Blair Holloman coming down this back straightaway, and he's going to bring Brandon Honeycutt with him. He's also going to bring Curtis Ecker possibly with him as well, but Eckers goes back up. And he will have Alex Teff. He will have the speed coming out of turn 2. He will get right up there in front of Holloman, and Holloman's going to look over to the inside here into turn 3. They're going to run side by side now out of turn 3. Oh, we did just get a yellow.
I wonder if Blair got back in front.
Rob Yost Jr. in that number 83 machine. Definitely going to be very interesting because this time by, there's 5 laps to go. So when we go back green, we should have just about, no, we'll have a green-white-checkered, I think. As you see the 83 there come up and, 3 wide.
Looked like he was going to catch it, but the 80 was there.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. Yeah, that's definitely going to be very tough there.
I see Barry got really, really high there.
Now, looking at it from that view, it looked like that he probably went for a block.
Yeah, it sort of did.
Yeah, so I can't place that on anybody there except Rob. But we'll see what race control has to say about that.
I guess the 43 was out front at the time of caution.
Yeah, so coming back up here to your race leaders, yeah. Alex Teff was right out in front of Blair Holloman. That might have been really, really close too. When the caution came out. You've got Brandon Honeycutt in that number 13 just hanging out right behind them. And there's Curtis Ecker in that number 8 machine. As we have a few cars coming back down pit road, not sure coming down, how much that's going to make a difference at the moment, but looks like Iceburn is going. Yeah, Iceburn is finally going to get his lap back in that number 92 Hershey machine. So he's going to come back around and win this race. That would be something, I'm just saying.
Curtis Ecker's up here too. It's actually a Pennsylvania native. I don't know if native is the right word. I don't know if he's been there forever, but he's from Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So he actually owns a RV rental place up in the middle of Pennsylvania, just about 2-hour drive to Pocono and Watkins Glen. So they have Family Traditions RV rentals. You can rent an RV starting at about $150 a night. They will bring it to the place that you're going to be setting up, obviously for for a fee for miles and everything. And then when you're done, they'll come pick it up, they'll clean it up, rent it out again. And something really cool that if you have an RV just sitting around not being used and you're paying storage on it, get a hold of them because they will store it at their facility. They'll rent it out. It's kind of like an Airbnb but for RVs. They'll rent it out for it, keep it stocked, they'll clean it for you. I'm sure that there's some fees that that they take out from the rental price for all that, but and then you just call them and say, hey, we want the RV for a couple weeks, and you can go pick it up. So it's actually pretty cool what they do over at Family Traditions RV Rentals. So go check them out at FamilyTraditionsRVRentals.com, I believe it is. It's actually a really cool thing for them to do, and they want to bring the families back together, and definitely everything that Curtis Ecker is doing. That number 8 machine is absolutely phenomenal. And I also want to point one more thing out. I absolutely love that color green on that race car. That's all I gotta say.
I always heard green was bad luck in racing. I don't know why.
Don't tell that to Kyle Busch when he was in the 18.
Never made sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so it looks like we are going to do a natural Green-White-Checkered. And then if we have a caution before we get back to the white, we're going to go into overtime. So, if you had to pick, you sticking with your brother?
Yeah, just because it's so hard to pass. I'm almost surprised he got passed for the lead done as quick as he did, but he had Honeycutt there to help push him by. Yep. And Blair's tires are just a couple laps older. He's got his teammate behind him in the 8, 43 and 8 are both on our team, Chicken Coop Racing. So yeah, I think I'm sticking with my bet.
As my bet's not up there, I'm going to have to go with that number 8 of Curtis Ecker. I think he's going to give that 43 a good push down into turn number 1. So, and I think he's going to try to make a pass on the white flag run. And here they come into the green flag. And here comes Teff. He's clear of that number, almost clear of that 32, but they're going. Both drivers are getting pushed by the drivers behind them as they are all trying to make room heading down here into turn number 1. And it is going to be Blair Holloman at the moment on the exit of turn 1. He will get up in front of Teft, but Teft will come back flying to the outside. Ecker pushing that number 43 machine now into turn number 2. He's trying everything to get him clear of Holloman so that he can start making a run now. As they come up into out of turn 2, down the short chute.
Got trouble behind.
One truck upside down. Oh man, one truck upside down. I think that was the 42 of Jonathan Stidham.
I think Blair might have been in front at the time.
And that will bring out our caution. Man, what a wild ride. I believe that was for that number 42 of Jonathan Stidham and that Willie's machine.
We've seen
Let's
a
come
couple
back.
of the trucks want to go over. One of them finally did.
Yeah, coming back here, taking a look here into the tunnel turn, and just a 3-wide situation gone bad. And finally, that 42 just went up and over. I believe that's the 39 there of Jordan Sailors. But he, luckily, he only rolled over one time, came back down on all fours, and he was able to drive away from the scene.
Looked like Kirby drove underneath him.
Yeah. Let's see.
Did a really good job avoiding it.
Yeah, let's take a look here.
Must be the 42 we're riding on.
Yep. And just getting it sideways right there. And up. And over. He almost went the other way, but he only did a 180 onto his roof and came back on the same side. So I can't give him a one full rotation there. And then the number 42, that looks absolutely amazing. He did stay out here.
Had he worked on it yet? I don't even see any damage on it.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, he's coming down the pit for the first time after that incident, and I mean, in all reality, he really didn't hit anything hard. You know, it was a nice little lift up on top of Jordan Sailors, I think, of that number 39 machine, and then he just came down on his roof and then just rolled it right back over. So he really didn't hit anything hard. I think he had maybe like 5 seconds of damage right there that they just repaired on that machine. So that's about it.
Incredible.
That was absolutely crazy.
We've got our first Green-White-Checkered. Got up to 3 of these. This is what we see a lot of Pocono. We'll have a mostly green race, and then you know, caution will come out toward the end. And turn 2 is just so tricky in a pack that we might see a few of these.
Yeah, I see Timothy Eisburn, Eisburn with a black flag in that number 92 Hershey machine. Not sure if that was for speeding on pit road, but he's going to have to probably bring that number 92 machine back down into the pits, as we should be coming around to get the 1 to go signal this time by.
Curious to see what Blair does here. I think the top worked all right for Alex last time, but he just got way too high in turn 1, and then again in turn 2, so looks like he's going to stick bottom. Might be good for Alex if he hits his marks this time. Got to pick on him a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely when it comes to family, you have no choice. You really have no choice here. But now we have that 32 on the inside, the 43 on the outside, and Ecker and Honeycutt both have swapped. And so now Ecker's on the inside and Honeycutt's on the outside, back behind the same people that they pushed the last restart.
Honeycutt was a really strong pusher on that last start.
Agreed. It'll be very interesting to see what he can do right there behind Teft on heading down into turn number 1. So I'm anticipating these guys to get right back on their bumper right before that green flag comes out. And I think they're going to try to slam on the gas just a second before the green flag flies, so that they're already up to starting to get up to speed before Teft and Holloman. That's what I would do.
Pace truck looks so much larger than the race trucks.
Yeah.
It's like a monster truck.
Oh yeah. You know, but these trucks are also lowered down to the ground, you know, with their suspension and everything, so that they have the kind of grip that they need. So that's the only thing that they really change, you know, between the commercial vehicles that you could buy and these race trucks. As we are green flag racing here once again, Holloman out to a decent lead. He's just going to stay on that inside. That's going to allow Teft to come to the outside. No, he will finally drive up top. And here comes Teft heading down here into turn number 1. Ecker almost got into the back over there of Teft. And out of turn number 2 here, or I'm sorry, turn 1, drafting down this back straightaway, heading into turn number 2 now. Is Teft going to try to make the run? He thought about it, but he decided not to make the move just yet, as Holloman gets mad loose, and this is going to give Teft a run on the outside of turn number 3. I'm not sure if that was the right move by Teft, but we are going to find out as they exit turn number 3. He's going to do the crossover out of 3, and he will be on the inside coming to the line. White flag is out this time. Holloman, Teft side by side for that race lead. And Ecker is right behind them looking to make a move. But Teft, as of right now, he will take over the race lead coming out of turn number 1. Ecker now on the inside of Holloman, and they will drag race down the back straightaway now and heading down into turn number 2. Ecker gets back behind him. Oh! And here comes Holloman back to the inside. They touch here in the tunnel turn. And here it comes Ecker now on the inside of Holloman. Ecker trying to get onto the inside of Holloman for that second spot. As they dive into turn 3 for the final time, they will drag race down the front straightaway. But ladies and gentlemen, your race winner here at Pocono is going to be Alex Teft. Coming home second is going to be that number 32 of Holloman, followed by Ecker and Honeycutt. And I think somebody might have hit that pit wall coming to the checkered flag.
Finish. Must have heard me when I told him to hit his marks. He did that time.
What an incredible restart for that driver, that number 43 of Alex Teft. Oh, that was the 55 of Truth Hope pounding the pit wall there at the entrance. Man, that was an absolute crazy finish. Alex Teft bringing it home first after starting second on that restart. Holloman did one heck of a drive trying to defend that race lead, but unfortunately he was not able to get the job done. And Curtis Ecker, he will come back third as these drivers start making their way down the front straightaway to have their little shenanigans that they usually do post-race. I think you need to teach your brother how to do burnouts.
I'm not very good at them either. Every time I finish one, I'm like, I need to work on that. But
there he goes. But all around, ladies and gentlemen, your Pocono race winner tonight is going to be Alex Teft in that number 43 Racers Elite Toyota. Just overall, what an incredible race that we got to witness here.
maybe he's beating it up so that can be measured in tech after the race.
Oh yeah, probably. If you win, we need you to go hit the wall with the driver's side, alright? Alright, I'll hit it. Okay. Man, just what an incredible run there for the last couple laps. Before we go speak with our top 3 of tonight's race. Let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break, and we'll come back and talk with Curtis Ecker, Blair Holloman, and Alex Teff. We will see you guys on the other side.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series in officially licensed cars engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Pocono Raceway, where we just witnessed an amazing 64 laps around this historic 2.5 mile racetrack. I am Mike Taylor up here once again in the booth with Andrew Teft and Christian Hill behind the camera, giving us all of your beautiful scenes that you get to see. And let's go ahead and take a look here at your final results, ladies and gentlemen. Finishing first is Alex Teff, coming home second. Blair Holloman. Curtis Ecker fought his way back up here into that third spot. Brandon Honeycutt also fought his way up here to fourth. Patrick Mollett and Patrick Millett come home fifth and sixth. Seventh is Jordan Shamblin. He fell back on those last couple restarts to that seventh spot. Jordan Sailors, Kensley Smith in the number 15, and Troy Thomas will round out your top 10. Sean Dunaway, Kirby Wainscott, Cliff Adams, Brandon Sanfilippo, Barry Nelson, Truth Hope, Stephen Luttrell, Steve Sizemore, Alan Wild, Mike Fudge will come home, round out your top 20, I should say. 21st is Rob Yost in that number 83 machine, followed by Jonathan Stidham, Aaron Roth. Timothy Eisburn comes back fighting to 24th. Jesse Fox, Philip Archibald, Kyle Hess, Pete Pellini, and of course Andrew Teff falls back to the 29th spot.
That guy.
Yeah, that guy, man. And, I wish that they would give us that option, like, to erase the name from there. That would be awesome.
I asked RC to remove me, but it didn't work. I do some laps in practice just to get a feel for the racetrack, like you were saying, so makes me show up.
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things that we could work on. But, ladies and gentlemen, how about we get down to it? Let's go ahead and talk to our third place driver of that number 8 RV, our Family Traditions RV Rentals machine. Curtis Eckert. Curtis, this is Andrew and Mike up here in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Curtis, what an incredible run for you here today. You moved up from sixth all the way up here to third at the end of the day, but near the middle there, you did fall back to the teens back there, and then you fought your way back up here to third. How was that race truck today?
It was really fast, good handling. It was a great race. Uh, yeah, there in the middle, that one pit cycle, I took 4 tires, and apparently everybody decided they were going to take 2 tires or no tires.
That's crazy. Taking no, taking no tires here at Pocono under a fuel run. That's just absolutely crazy. I know I won it. I would at least do 4.
You and me both.
But man, yeah, you came back very strong today. An incredible run. This is really going to help your points at the end of the day. So, uh, what's your thoughts about now after you got the third race of the season done, and how do you feel you're looking in points this season so far?
This would definitely help. We've had some decent finishes, and wow, one decent finish and one not so good finish. But overall, I think we're in good shape for this year, and we've had a lot of fast cars this season so far.
Yeah, definitely. Next week, um, we are heading over to Myrtle Beach, which is really small compared to Pocono. What's your experience over at Myrtle Beach, and what are you expecting out of next week?
I haven't driven Myrtle Beach a whole lot, but I'm always a fan of short tracks. So as long as they go well, they can also cause a lot of drama.
Definitely. And before we let you go today, is there anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to?
My family, of course, who always watches and supports this, and you guys who do an awesome broadcast week in, week out, and just this whole Racers Elite organization.
Awesome, awesome. And well, congratulations, Curtis, on your third place finish today. And we'll see you next week when we head over to Myrtle Beach.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, driver of that number 8 machine, Curtis Ecker. Let's go ahead and bring in the gambler driver of that number 32 machine, Blair Holloman. Blair, this is Mike and Andrew up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Blair, what a wicked fast race truck you had today, and unfortunately, you didn't get to bring it home. But man, how fast was that Great Clips 32 today?
Honestly, the truck felt pretty good. I really didn't have pace in that last little, I guess, little snippet of the race there. I only took 2 tires under that green flag pit stop, and my bed was already made. I wasn't coming back down for tires. I was like, I'll stay out and see how many more stay out. And I was like, oh, there's 7 or 8 of us. Yeah, this may work out. But all in all, I can't complain. The truck actually drove really nice here. Usually Pocono, the track temps through the roof, so the truck wants to slide a lot, but the truck had a lot of grip in turn one, especially turn two. Like that qualifying lap we ran earlier carried 171 through turn two, which if it was a slick track, you're not doing that.
That's
But
absurd.
yeah, that thing was hooked up on rails. But it was a good evening there.
Yes. So the final couple restarts there, both were green, white, checkered. Ultimately, what was your game plan to try to keep uh, Alex Teff behind you?
I really wasn't too worried on what Alex was up to. I know he was going to be battling me one way or another. What I was noticing was the next 3 trucks behind was Alex had a teammate with him, and then there was 2 other teammates for a whole other team that were sitting right there waiting at the mid. So it was trying to make sure I could break up the lines at least a little bit, try to make sure at least like there's one team separated so it blocks the other one and vice versa. But pretty much the goal was we get to the green white checkers. It's like I want to get a podium and I don't want to end up in the fence. So we were able to stay out of the fence, which is definitely good, and stay up on the podium, which all in all should be good for points.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm actually taking a look now at the point standings. You are on top by 6 points in front of Patrick Millette. Next week, we're heading over to Myrtle Beach, which is again a lot smaller track than Pocono. What's your experience and over at Myrtle, and what are you expecting there?
Not gonna lie, never raced there, but I know the track is kind of a little bit like how Memphis is. In a way, it's pretty much like a more flatter version of what Memphis would be, or like a smaller Richmond. So pretty much the big thing there is gonna be trail braking into the turns without burning off the right front. So it should be interesting. Like I said, I've never raced there, so when we show up on Tuesday, that practice session will be the first time I ever drive on the track.
Yeah, I hear that. And before we let you go today, is there anybody that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Here's a few people I want to give a quick shout out to. Jordan, our teammate here with the Z Yost Racing Brigade. I know Yost had a little bit of a bad finish there. He got involved in some stuff, but Jordan rallied back to eighth, which is awesome. I know my dad's watching. Well, hopefully he was entertained by what he saw. My friend Sophie, she's watching as well. The truck still running the Brad Sweet paint scheme. I haven't had a chance to paint anything else yet. But on the deck lid, it has Holloman Napa Auto Parts. That's my cousin Tad's family business. Those all support me with this whole sim racing brigade, and I really can't build a real race car, so this is as good as it gets, and they support me no matter what. So I thank every one of them for paying attention to what I'm doing.
Absolutely, we definitely thank our family so much for allowing us to do this. You know, even though it does eat away money, like in real life, just a little bit for us. But hey, it's all fun, and we definitely thank our families for that.
Oh yeah, it's
So,
definitely good that they get to support it and get to watch it.
absolutely. All right. Well, congratulations, Blair, on your second place win, and we'll see you next week at Myrtle Beach.
Thank you guys. I'll catch you next week.
Ready, ladies and gentlemen, driver of that number 32 Great Clips Chevrolet, Blair Holloman. And let's go ahead and bring up the man of the hour, the one, the only Alex Teft. Um, Alex, this is Andrew and Mike up in the booth. They got a copy.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I already told Andrew this is all his.
Yeah, it's a different perspective. Got me on the edge of the seat there. I didn't know what the heck was going to happen. Was glad you took the top for that second to last restart. I looked like you might have overdrove the corner a little bit and kind of handed it back to Blair, and then Blair's made some mistakes on that final restart off of two. Looked like he got loose, so I didn't know what the heck was going to happen. Like what was your strategy going into this, and how did you place yourself with such great track position toward the end?
Per usual, qualified terrible. Then just tried to focus on saving the tires for the long run, but then the long runs never really happened besides that first one. So at that point, it was just basically balancing, trying to make that tough decision of, do I come get those fresh tires or do I maintain the track position? And it seems like the call all night was just maintain the track position. One of the times I did pit, I did take two tires just to, same thing, just maintain that track position. And then, they just kept picking them off one at a time. And then, that one restart where I was in the lead, starting on the top. I don't know if I just entered in a lane too high or something like that. But by the time I got to the center of the corner, I just had no drive. It was just would not stick. So luckily, that other caution came out, and like you said, Blair got a little loose, and I was able to get inside of him. He was on a few lap older tires too. I want to say a good 4 or 5 laps older than mine. So that also paid off. But just focused on keeping the nose clean and, only really trying to make the passes when you have that run, because if you got stuck on the bottom, people would just freight train you on the outside. So it was just, really focusing on, keeping the momentum up the whole race.
Yeah, I got a little nervous when you made the move low going into two, but it looked like you had a really good push behind you that helped you clear him. I guess lastly, just your burnout. Who do we have to talk to improve your burnout skills? Mine included, because the judges were kind of critiquing all the damage that you incurred at the start finish line after the race.
Yeah, the start to the burnout I was in the wrong gear, so didn't really spin the tires like I wanted to, so it just slid right up into the wall. So once I got it backed out of the wall and got into the correct gear, it was go time from there.
Good cover.
Yeah, we'll have to find somebody to give some lessons here.
Yeah.
I could use some help in that department myself.
It's
But,
when I don't do very many burnouts in the trucks. I think this is only my second truck win out of, geez, who knows how many starts now.
You've got a ton of next gen wins, but not so much in this series. So good to see. We've had a lot of different winners this year in this season. I think this is our 4th race if you include the pre-race, the preseason race, and had 4 different winners. So it's been exciting to watch. Would love to be out there, but the next best thing is to be able to sit here and call races like this. You guys definitely kept it exciting. So I'm going to pass it back to you and let you thank all your people.
Yeah, no, first off, it being Veterans Day, I want to thank all the servicemen and women who protect this country and let us play race car, multiple nights a week. And thank you guys in the booth, except for you, Andrew, because you don't deserve it. But
To be expected.
yeah, no, thank the friends and the viewers that watch all the time, and my wife, get to say that for the first time. Oh, and Kensley for the paint scheme, of course, Chaos Designs.
Well, Mike, you got anything for Alex? I've been kicked out of the booth.
Alex, just what an incredible day for you in that number 43 machine. You started back in that 17th spot, drove the wheels off of it all the way back up to first, and just had a very strong, good restarts the final couple times. And I mean, just what an incredible day for you. You did move up 10 spots in the points, so I think you're now sitting like 5th or something like that in the point standings, which is always exciting there. And next week we head over to Myrtle Beach. What's your experience over at Myrtle, and what can we expect from you over there?
I'm not sure if I've ever run there in a truck. I think the one time I run there was in probably, late model stocks back in the day, and then I think I've done a super late model race there. But usually I fare pretty well at the short tracks and the trucks for the most part. As long as it allows me to be a bottom feeder and save tires, I should be able to do well.
Right. Yeah, I think that's all I have for you, Alex. We won't keep you here much longer. Congratulations on your race win, and we'll see you next week at Myrtle.
Good, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, your race winner, driver in that number 43 Racers Elite Toyota Tundra, is going to be Alex Teft. Man, just overall, what a crazy race it was today. Very fun to watch, very exciting. And that just means everything that we saw today, we get to do it all again next week when we do head over to Myrtle Beach. We will be coming live right about 7:45 Eastern. Live from Myrtle Beach, and it'll be right here on that Racers Elite Network. Before we sign off, Andrew, do you have any final words?
Yeah, I just want to thank all the viewers for tuning in and enjoying the show with us. Racers Elite competition, the way our fuel and tire settings are, it always makes it interesting, keeps everybody in the game, and couldn't tell who was going to take this one till the end. So, but yeah, just excited to see the rest of the season and who locks themselves into the chase. I think it's going to be a really tight battle all the way to the end. Nobody's really running away with it.
Yeah. All right. Definitely excited to see what happens next week at Myrtle. But ladies and gentlemen, we will not keep you guys much longer as well. I am Mike Taylor up here in the booth, the one, the only, the amazing Andrew Teft, and the one that makes us look good is Christian Hill behind everything that you see over in the production. Thank you, Christian, for everything that you do over there. Andrew, thank you for allowing me to be here with you. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week live at Myrtle Beach. And until then, you guys have yourself a beautiful time zone. See ya next time.
Bye, folks.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.